Okay, hope I'm going to be able to demonstrate this for you. It's an old feature, but with some new twists to it. Google Meet has the ability to start live translated captions. So what you see up here is a Google Classroom, and if the teacher goes into their Google Classroom and they start a Meet using the Generate Meet link and then joining it, then students can't join it until the teacher is in. So that's an old feature, right? So what we want to do now, though, is once the students have joined that Google Meet, we want them to be able to see translations in the caption screen for the language that they speak. So this is really good for ENL students. So also when the teacher starts it, they're going to want to go into the settings, the host controls, and turn off chat messages so that the students can't use a chat message to chat with other ENL students while they're doing the translated captions piece. All right, for a student to join the Meet, what you want to do is you want to have them use this companion mode. What that will do is it will shut off their speakers and it will shut off their microphone so that you don't get feedback in the classroom. Because really, it's not important. They're going to be in the classroom hearing the teacher, but what we want is that translated caption. So when the student uses and they come in here to the three dots and they go to settings and then captions, the speaker will be in English, and then we want those captions translated. Now here's where Google has expanded the list. It used to only have about 5 options in here. Now you can see there's a bunch more options, some of them in beta, but there's a bunch more. So I'm going to just choose Chinese simplified, or you can choose Portuguese. And then what you'll see when the student returns is as the teacher's talking in front of the class, they're being translated into Chinese. So the student on their end would have their Chromebook open, would be in the Google Meet, would be in the companion mode, and they'd be able to see the translated captions at the bottom of the screen. All right, rounding out our summer changes to Google Docs, we have 2 more for you. One are these little handy voting chips where people can upvote things. You can make custom ones. All you do is use a smart chip. So you put an asterisk in, and then in that smart chip menu, you will see there's a voting chip choice. You can do heart, you can do thumbs up, you can just do +1s, or you can make a custom voting chip. So it's a real quick way to get feedback on things in a document. You could also have people use comments, but this is just a yes or no. Okay, so that was one. Another one that used to have to use an extension for, but now is built right into Google Docs, is if you come up here to Tools, you can now do line numbers, and then you turn it on and you can customize it, whether you want the line numbers to start over on each page or each section or through the whole document. But you'll see it now has the line numbers down the side, so it's much easier to reference content in a document because you can say it's on line 18, for instance. Okay, so those are 2 new Google Docs features. All right, a couple quick changes to Google Drive. One is a lock file feature, so you can see this Canva Notes here. If I click the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, and I go to File Information, I can lock the file. What this does is it basically stops commenters from adding new comments to it. It stops people from making any changes to the document. However, note that anyone who's set as an editor can unlock the file. But it is a quick reminder to people that this project's done and this is the final version of it, and we shouldn't make any changes after this. So you can just click the lock button and it will then lock that file. Unfortunately, there isn't really any notification at the Google Drive level that that file is locked. When you go into the file, you'll notice we're missing the toolbars at the top, and we can't really do anything. You can see that there is a warning down here, this document is locked, that pops up. So there isn't any visual indicator, though, from in Drive. That's 3 dots, file information, lock, unlock. Okay. The second change to Google Drive that I want to make you aware of was that when you click the 3 dots or right-click on a file, they've now reorganized the pop-up menu. So all of your sharing options are under one little drop-down. all the ways you can add shortcuts or move the file into a different folder or star it or add it to a workspace under Organize, and then file information has your details, your activity, and your lock all in those drop-down menus. So nothing's really changed in terms of features, but they've just reorganized how they appear in that right-click menu for you. All right, this last little tip has to do with a tool we've talked about before. It's called Google Chat and Google Spaces. You can find them over here on the left-hand side of your Gmail, or if you go to chat.google.com, it takes you to the same place essentially. So chat is I want to chat with an individual person. Green dots mean that they're online. White dots means they're currently not active. And then spaces are where you can set up an entire space to chat with people who have joined. You can see our instructional technology support one has 105 members. If you haven't joined this one and you want to invite, just drop me an email and I'll shoot you an invite to it. But it's where people can post questions they have and get answers from multiple people, not just the coaches, but other classroom teachers, IMS staff, etc. So the instructional technology support area. Okay, so in using this chat, the new feature I wanted to show you was that you can now use smart chips, just like in Google Docs slides. When you're in a chat, you simply hit the @ symbol, and it will let you attach files into those chats for people to reference as part of that chat. Okay, so it's just a real quick, you can now use a limited smart chip selection in chat and spaces. But if you haven't experimented with these, I highly suggest you do. It's a real quick way to chat with people live rather than waiting for responses via email. That's chat and spaces over here on the left-hand side of your Gmail.